Shulam and Barucha, Parshas Vayeitzei. So let's learn a bit together. I just was reminding myself back in the day when people could go out and shop and buy things. There was a certain feeling you had. I remember you bought a new suit. That you breathed in the aroma, the feel of the cloth, the experience that ever so momentarily you had a glow within yourself as you slip into the sleeves for the very first time. Malbish, you walk out of the shop and you feel happy and you feel proud, maybe not self-satisfied. Look at this suit. And then you find the thread. The thread. There's one in every suit. I don't care what you say. It's that little bit of thread that just winks out from the top button, coaxing you to pull it. You get pulled over, such perfection. There's a little, days go by, and that thread taunts you. It's despoiling. He's ruining the whole look, the perfect look of your fresh new suit. You don't even have any stains on it yet. So ever so slowly that thread keeps growing. It looks like it's getting longer. And your perfect look is becoming challenged. You think that anyone who looks at you sees that thread sticking out of the buttonhole, right? And there's nothing worse than a button limply dangling off a new suit, right? And so finally you do the inevitable. You pull on the thread, hoping that the button will behave itself and get in line with the rest of the buttons. And the thread is longer than you imagined, and it spools out as the button flies off into oblivion. It's amazing how this everyday nuisance is so common yet so irritating. One other thought. Did you ever wonder why the inside cleaning label never gets loose? Never falls off? How come they could do it with that but not with the buttons? Right. So I know that it's a bit too much for one day. Let's not try to get too much going at one time. We can revisit the scourge of the threads on another occasion, perhaps when I have to start sewing buttons on my next kapita. Life is filled, especially in the life of Corona, layer upon layer of small irritations. And they cram into your mind and they keep you unfocused. And there's a sense of unsettlement. The Heilige Piasetzner Rebbe Zeichen Tzadik Lebucha, the Aish Kodesh, he spoke often about the constant conversation that goes on in everyone's minds. He challenges you to just stop for a moment and listen to what madness passes for a fleeting thought that congest your brains. And he explains that if we do that, if we just try, we'd be astounded how disturbing they are. All this static keeps us from focusing on what is important, especially when it comes to our avodas Hashem. It's a distraction because the Vayeitzei doesn't want you to be thinking in positive ways. Parshas Vayeitzei, we find Yaakov Avinu leaving Be'er Sheva and going to Harav. And says the Torah, he encountered the place and spent the night there. Rashi HaKodesh notes that Chazal explain that in Hebrew, the word for encounter the place indicates that the act of tefillah took place, that Yaakov davened Ma'ariv at that moment. The Heilige Yismach Yisrael from Alexander understands that The word for night, Aravis, is rooted in the word for darkness. At the same time, the word also could mean confused. When a Yid is confused with all the conflicting thoughts and all the worries, when he can't focus on and he starts to despair, says the Rebbe from Alexander, Yaakov Avinu created this unique moment, this Eis Rotzen, this quiet moment, Maariv, for all generations. At the moment of calm in the day, a time that we could see release from all the thoughts that crash into our consciousness. But calm yourself. No matter how far we've drifted, how confused, how suffused in this darkness, Ma'ariv, the darkness, Arvid, we may become there. There is a prayer, and it's called Ma'ariv, and it was anointed by Yaakov Avinu, our forefather, who understood a complicated human condition. After all, he was running from a murderous brother. Threads may unravel in life. Annoyances plague our lives, especially now. Kids are home and not home. Is it open? Is it closed? Should I go to the shtivel? Is it open? I don't know. But then we have Maariv, a gift from Yaakov Avinu. And in the darkest moment, we can turn to Hashem, step back from the chaos, and just as Yaakov, find a ladder reaching up to the Kisei HaKovod. We are all prone to suffer anxiety at times. It's the little things that make up the annoyances of the daily grind. Hold on to that dream of that ladder. Let the schus, the merit of Yaakov Avinu, our forefather, who suffered so many trials and tribulations, may that schus give you the courage to focus on what is true to your soul. Shkoyach, man, sich treffen, Gesundheit.